Hello, everyone. Well, so I have actually a metric butt ton of stuff to do for NDK today. So my thought is, if I don't get anybody who shows up on the stream relatively soon, I'm going to go on ahead and call the stream for the day because a lot of what I need to do is comb through YouTube videos to find stuff to show at the convention. One of my big jobs for this coming convention for NDK is I do a panel called the History of Anime, and in that panel I talk about, I know this is weird, the history of anime. So I need to discuss what's going on with the history of anime. So if no one else shows up on this thread, so I was going to hang out with my mom's best friend tonight. Not be with us this weekend. She's working. So that's kind of a bummer. And it's good, but it's bad. That's okay. So what I will do, though, is at the top of the stream, talk about real quickly what I have done with my comics, so you guys can see what's going on real quick, because we're not working on this today, but we'll work on it in a bit, just so you guys are all aware. I have, last night was talking about this, and I really think that no matter what, the Jen and Chang scene is much more, makes more sense up front than the Mayrel and Kian scene. So even though we have like more nudity in the very beginning, I think this is going to be an omake anyway, so it's going to be a side story, so it's not going to be one of those mainstream ones, so I don't feel bad putting it in a sleeve and putting it to the back of the board and sealing it and saying for mature audiences only. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel bad with that one. Just not wanting to get busted. I don't care. I think really it's ridiculous that there's no sex going on, so I can't imagine why it'd be like difficult for kids to understand. But okay, not my business, not my circus, not my monkeys. So you know what we can do though? This panel, real quick. You know why we can do this panel? Because it's a big black panel of black. So let's do that real quick because it'll be funny. And then this page will be done. There. Now make it black. So wanna make it black.
Oh, sorry, I've made it so you'll get a color.
Yeah, I know, right? I think we can sing. Yeah. So problem is I'd rather so my beloved wife has come up with this idea of I didn't do well sleeping last night. I got like cramps and stuff. So I want to go back and take a nap this afternoon, but I don't have time to take a nap because I've got all this work to do for NDK. And so my beloved wife, who's very, very wise, said, why don't you do the NDK stuff this morning instead of your stream? Because you're done with your comic. The comic shipped. It's out. Everything's done. So you don't need to worry about it. And so I was like, oh, that's a good idea. But I don't want to. It's much more fun to work like comic book. And I don't want to work. It's like a whole bunch of work. Who wants to do that? There we go. I'll make an hour of this real quick, and then that'll make me feel better. And then we'll quit early, and it'll be fine. That's not bad. You're all full of smart. We've been having some anger issues.
you.
No.
I hope you're getting better.
Oh, I'll sleep.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I will sleep.
I'm gonna go ahead and pack the boat brushes since
Yeah, you're not going to record that. Good. It's the thought process.
I'm going to pack the boat brush.
Then you can make a decision. You can make a decision. Wow. And this page is now done. And that means now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are complete. So the 11 pages were almost halfway done. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of looking at this going, well, yeah, I may be out of ideas. This might be a good time for this. All right. There's a lot of stuff going on out here. All right. Now let's see what is out here. It seems like there was a lot of like random. Uh-oh. Oh, for crying out loud. So one of the flaws that Daz has had for a million years, and it's extraordinarily irritating, is once you hit stop asking, it never asks again. So if it misloads a texture or anything like that, it will never ask you again until you close Daz and open it again. But if you hit skip, then it has to ask you for every single one. You know, bing, over and over and over and over and over until it drives you absolutely bonkers. So we now know Kitty wakes up. Kitty wake in here. Different ship. And actually, we'll put her on this launch pad instead of the other launch pad. Do you need to fold the wingtips up? She's parked. So show me your wingtips. She also probably needs to be scaled up. She matches the doors and stuff like that. And what we'll do is this. We'll go for a right side view, select you, turn you off. And this will give us a good orthographic view of where the gateway is. So we'll take her and scale her up until the windows match. Right, so you can see now we're about one deck off from the ground, another deck here to this level. So we really are one off the ground. It's actually two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's got to be that big. Slightly higher than that because this isn't a complete deck off the ground. So that's how we match her size so that she's the correct size in here. I'm going to put her here in the back of the bay. Sitting in the back of the bay, drinking highs. Ken would not have put her in there cooking. I'm just saying. Jen's not that kind of person. And we'll kill this destroyer in favor of the actual destroyer, which lives in here, who's very small. Look how small he is. He needs to be scaled up. For a cute little destroyer. Probably not the way we want him to be. And boy, putting you in the correct scale though, you're a monster in here, in this bay. I can at least fold. Yeah, but I can't put another. This bay says that there's multiple ships in here, including. Well, there's a freighter in here, and that's fine. Freighter can hold. But it looks like this destroyer put up the correct size. It's huge. I think we had this problem before. Luckily, the fin does pivot. Not that way, though. This way. Which allows it to be in here. Put it right there against the engine. And then fold that down. But yeah, destroyers are bigger. She definitely takes up that entire place, doesn't she? But she's also many decks larger than. It's a bigger ship. But it's still a small ship bay. Just we're all on the same token, the same way, the same page here. 17.4. You own something to me. Hey, that made you. If you're wondering why I need to consolidate all of these sizes, this is why. Because we don't have a scale for this stuff. So we've got a problem because everybody's at toy scale. Should be noted that even though we are talking about a small ship, relatively speaking, it's still a big ship compared to a person. I am kind of wondering whether this is the right scale. Back to the same thing I was talking about before. Yeah, because he should at least be a deck high. And I'm okay if he's not huge, but he should be a deck high at least. Which means that James might be right. James had said he felt like the MPV was a little small, relatively speaking. And I think we need to spend a little bit of quality time scaling our mecha and spacecraft correctly. And making a little cheat sheet that says, if you have a scale that's the size of the QuaCk, then you need to justify all of the other ships to that scale. Which is something that I have been meaning to do for a while. I'm actually kind of thinking of doing it now. Because frankly, all of these guys are at different scales. And we're never going to get this straightened out if we don't get the right scales. So, this is good. This gives us something to do for the remainder of our hour, because I already promised I'd do an hour here. Okay, so thinking. Let's start thinking this stuff through. Okay, well, that was ridiculously useful. Right off the bat, the first hit tells me exactly what I'm looking for. It says, typically in civil engineering applications, 1 to 10 is used exclusively for detail drawings. 1 to 20 and 1 to 40 scales are used for working plans, and 1 to 60 is usually used to show large areas of a project. So, I think what we've got is a couple of scales that we can go up on. There's 1 to 1 human, right? And that's the scale of human beings, right? And then 1 to 10, which would be scaled to kittiwake size. Which might actually be 160, right? Because if I were to talk about this, it might be 1 to 60 or 1 to 50. I mean, we can make it a round number. Make it a round number. Then 1 to 100 is destroyer. And then 1 to 500 is cruiser. And then 1 to 1000 is home ship. Okay, so what we have done is talk about detail levels. So we're going to talk about this as a detail level thing, because it's driving me crazy that these things are not lined up right. If nothing else, what we're not seeing here is, now I've brought him up to the correct size-ish, give or take, but James is right. It's close. Well, it's not bad for the princess in the back. She looks about the same size. So we did something right, but this is all guesswork. I'm totally guessing. I'm completely guessing, which is ridiculous. So, file, we'll save this real quick just because we've already been working on it, and then we'll do a new one. Okay, new one. We're going to do top view. Okay, so from here, let's put in a human. I'll put in a male human because that gives me a 2 meter rough setup, right? So dude is about 2 meters, give or take, right? So we'll go top view. We will rotate not that way. We will lay him down. Work, right? Then I will scale him to 100% because that's where he needs to be, because Navin is short, but the human male is not necessarily. And we'll fold his arms down just so that it doesn't bother me, because it'll bother me, right? Because ultimately we're going to take snapshots of this. All right. It's all right, Brent. I'm probably not going to stay here for very long today. I was saying that I have a bunch of stuff to do for the con, and really honestly, so one of the jobs that we got to do is all of my ships are out of scale from one another, and they really should be unified. So here is our, let's say, stand standard human. About 2 meters tall, give or take, right? So each one of these in the grid is a meter. So I'm going to stick him over here, and we're going to put in the princess. The princess should be at 1-to-1 scale. Looks about right. So she's about 4 meters wide, and she is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 meters long. Well, I'm not even going to be here Wednesday through Tuesday next week and the week after. But I've got to go source a whole bunch of YouTube videos. I'm doing, as I was saying, I'm doing a panel called The History of Anime. And I want to show some of the cool anime, or where did anime come from and stuff like that. And I have to source the videos. Can't really do that without violating copyright. Like, if I broadcast me sourcing videos on YouTube, I'd probably violate copyright. So we're not going to do that. So at 1-to-1, yep, I'm going to leave you for days on end. Hopefully, I'm actually going to reach out to Can. I haven't seen or heard from him in a while. I'm kind of worried about it. So I'm going to reach out to Can real quick here. There we go. All right. So these are all at 1-to-1. Right. Perfect. At 1-to-1, our MPV lives at a scale of 711.6. That's ridiculous. Which that's fine. So 1-to-1 human, we can actually call that this 1-to-1 kitty-wake. And what I will actually do is I had him all set up to be the standard human. And you know what? I'm actually going to here. Well, first of all, let's make sure that he's pointing the right way, because it's always something weird, because he's not. You'll notice that his butt is pointing forward. Rotate 1, 8, 0. So now when we have this guy, this is 1-to-1. Take you over to here. And we'll say, well, maybe I'm really just trying to make it so that 1-to-1 is scaled to 2 meters. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back to here. Go, hey, my D drive is getting kind of spacey. Getting full over there. Look at that D drive being all clunked up. Uh-oh, Google Drive turned off. Why did Google Drive turn off? What's up with Google Drive? We are not syncing anymore, says Google Drive. Why are we not syncing? Some errors occur. That's right. Okay, Google Drive can resync. I don't know what what its problem is, but it's got an error on it, which makes me aggravated. Anyway, okay. Going down here, we're going to go to Guide the Artist, and we're going to say what was they doing? Bellatrix Rising. Right. We don't need Bellatrix Rising. We just need Guide the Artist. Large icons. Boy, I'm having a hard time today. You know what I could do is just make a square. Open. No. Cancel. New. Square. Because if we do a square, then all I need to do from this is just say top view and then zoom out. Because this will give us the exact dimensions of this grid, whatever this grid is. I'm not liking it. We're just pulling back enough that we can get this grid. Oh, look at the Moirier patterns that are happening. Isn't that cute? And then we're going to go like this. And then I can turn off that. Every piece underneath it really should be turned off too, but isn't. That was entertaining. I like how you know what? It is easier to just delete you and then restart you. Delete. Really? I have to have a thing here in order for me to get a grid? Damn it. No. There. I must have accidentally deleted the grid. Nope. I see. So I can only see the grid past here. That's the problem. Unless there's an object there. That's fine. I was just going to snag the grid. That's what I was going to do. But it's apparently going to be a problem child. So just a grid. I'll put it on my desktop. A grid. File, open. A grid. Grid. I have a grid. I'm not afraid to use it. So I had another rough night last night with lots of stupid cramps and dumb stuff like that. I think I have a pinched nerve in my back. I finally looked up pinched nerve and leg cramps and got a response that made sense. So I think what's happening is there is a disorder whereby your vertebrae all pop out of alignment, so they're all kind of just slightly out of alignment. And when it does, it pinches the nerves in there, because when I can get my back to pop and straighten out, everything is fine. I sleep just fine. Everything's okay. But if I can't get my back to pop, I sleep about 4 hours before one or both of my calves cramp, or my arches of my feet, or whatever. And it doesn't matter whether I take potassium, it doesn't matter whether I take magnesium, it doesn't matter how much water I drink, it doesn't matter how much I stretch, it doesn't matter. All of these things, I've been suffering from these cramps for about 4 or 5 years now. And it's bringing my sleep down to an average of about 4 to 5 hours a night. And so, I'm starting to wonder. First of all, I'm starting to get super fatigued. I'm starting to lose energy. I'm starting to lose power because I'm sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night. I try to nap in the afternoon, but normal humans work 9 to 5, and of course, my family is active at night. And then I've got the stream and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. I can only sleep 4 hours in a block, so I have to find 2 4-hour blocks separated by 3 or 4 hours, no matter what. And that doesn't happen. There's modern world doesn't work that way. So what I'm discovering, I think, is this, and I think what's happening is that this is the nature of the beast on this one, and that's fine. We'll figure it out. But I think that what's happening is that's the problem with my back. And so I'm actually kind of wondering about the little chirp wheels. I'm wondering if maybe I should just order so those little chirp wheels, the ones that sit with your spine in the center and it tries to get your spine to line up in the middle. I'm going to look that up right now. Chirp wheels. I feel like the little chirp wheel might be a thing. It looks like tires. I guess they make just standard yoga wheels. Yoga wheels! So anyway, yeah, and the problem I'm getting is I've been to a chiropractor and they pop everything. Really, I just need to lay on that damn table with the little rollers. When I do, everything goes back all the way down, and we're all good. The problem is that it doesn't stay that way, you know? And so, I mean, like, it doesn't last more than a few hours. And then, so if I get an adjustment, I come back, and within a few hours, I'm back to where I am, or where I was. You know what? I'm going to try something. I have a bit of foam right here. I didn't like using the roller to roll on to pop my back because I would roll and it would press. So hang on, I'll be right back. Chiropractor sent me with these guys. They're little rollers. They're made of foam, but they're too hard. I can't roll on them because they hurt. What I'm going to try to do is do this and see if I can't lay on that real quick and roll back and forth. So you get to like hang out while I experiment on this, because I think if I can mimic what that table does, I might be able to. Well, I don't know. A little bit of popping there. actually laying on the floor direct seems to be a good one. Putting a little bit of padding there helps a lot. That's not bad, actually. Sometimes this is good. I still feel like part of what's going on is like a big adjustment issue back here. So it does seem like it's just better. I don't know. The only problem is that the foam gets underneath it. But that does seem to work. Maybe I'll try that in the future. Works better than nothing. I've also been recently doing a what was I thinking? I've been doing recently sitting on the or laying down on the floor. Well, so 2 nights ago, my back popped like a zipper, bap, 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 all the way down. And I slept like a baby. I slept like 7 hours or 8 hours, which is ridiculous. I've never done that before. In the last 4 years, I probably haven't slept 8 hours in a straight. I can't anymore. So I don't have flexibility because my back has all tightened up so much that I can't. This is all the twist I get, and I cannot get on the floor and try to do the stretches like the downward dog and stuff like that without getting cramps. And I'll get cramps across my abdominals, and I get cramps all the way down. And so I end up with 15 minutes worth of cramps for 5 minutes worth of exercise. And that's just such a horrible, painful thing that I'm sluggish to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. It's really hard to bring yourself to do something knowing you're going to suffer 15 minutes worth of pain in it. And it's always 15 minutes. It's not like 5 minutes. And I'm not actually like exaggerating for hyperbole or anything like that. I've timed it. It takes about 13 to 18 minutes for the cramps to let up. And so it takes a while. So I've tried doing those things, yoga and stuff like that. Yoga fire. We're gonna do this. We're gonna not do that. I see. So I want to do some Tai Chi. There's some great Tai Chi out there that I am very into, but haven't gotten to that yet. All right. But maybe I should just make it as part of my morning routines and stuff like that. Save as. And we'll go out to a new thing called grids and scales. And this will be human scale 1 because you can't put a semicolon in. Then we will call this weight scale block. See, now I just messed myself up really bad. Really what it should be is 50 meters. That's not good because each block should be 1 meter, so 5 meters. That's 1 to 5. Let's see if that's too small. Right. And then we can do 150. And then each block equals 50 meters. Let's see. I may regret this, right? Each block should be separable by 50. Right. Enterprise D is 641 meters long. So if we do each 1/100 for this, block equals 100 meters. .400 meters, still not big enough for a starship. So this should be 500 meters is what it could be. And this is Polaris scale, or home ship scale. Alright, so each block is 500 meters, it's 100 meters, which means that the Enterprise D would be this big. And it would be right in here. And the Kittiwake, which is only like 19 meters, ends up being a dot right here. But compared to the Polaris, which is thousands of meters tall, because it's got buildings and crap in it, It's got a city inside it. That would be a different thing. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to call this the home ship scale. That's 1/500. You're wondering what I'm doing with all this weird, bizarre crap. Okay. Create. I'm going to do new primitive. We're just going to do a plane. And we're going to check 1 to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 4 meters. Right, as it's 4 meters, then we take the surface, take the plane, browse, we go all the way back up to here. So shared resources, grids and scales, and we're going to do human scale 1 to 1, right? So this becomes 0. So we have to be shiny. So human scale 1 to 1. That, and then we take parameters, rotate it. Okay. And it's to be 90. Here we go. And we'll raise it up so it's here. Work. Okay. So what we've got now is a human scale, right? So a human will be about here. This is 1 to 1. The car, the princess, should be 2 of these blocks. So we're going to copy and paste it. There we go. And this way, take the top view. So cooperative. So much wow. So we'll go minus 800 for you. Where they're locked up. Okay. So I take the princess and put her in. Okay, so from from this view, we look from the front. You can see exactly where she sits on this scale, right? There we go, perfect. So she sits slightly in the ground all the time because those wheels take up weight on the vehicle. But you can see where she fits on this entire thing. We'll move her to as middle as we can on this middle block right here. There we go. So she's centered. There we go. Actually, we'll go for surfaces, and we'll just make this diffuse color just slightly some other color because it's going to be kind of confusing if we don't. All right, let's do the same thing here. There we go. So now you can see where she sits on the grid. The human scale being 1 to 1. This is the MPV. The MPV is correctly scaled to a person. So we will put the person on here. And we will put a human. I think I have a standard default male person. Hi, George. Pepper's here.
Hi,
Hi,
George.
Pepper.
Hi, guys.
George is here.
Excuse me.
I got George and Pepper at the same time. Pepper, who just wants scritches too. But unfortunately, I'm not scritching Pepper. Sorry, Pepper. Can't get me scritches.
It's alright. It's alright. I'll get scritches another way.
But you're not here, so that's the way it goes. So instead, George gets all of your scritches. You can be jealous of George.
Okay. I'll be jealous of George. I'll be jealous of George because he's a cat and I'm a human.
Yeah, I know, right? You don't have any responsibilities except to be scritched. It's the only responsibilities you have to worry about, your feline.
Yeah. Just remember, cats don't have masters. Cats have, subjects.
Yep.
So what's going on, guys?
Truer words never been spoken. So, what's up, dude? Beady. What's up, bud?
I am rereading what I wrote last night for this prelude. I gotta say,
deciding that it's not as good a thing as you wanted.
No, I mean it is. It's just written very weirdly.
It's written like you were drunk. Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Actually, no. I've
like, was I drunk?
I actually have back in the day written when I was still drinking alcohol.
Weeks.
And
it never ends well with me.
Some of the stuff that I did. Apparently, when I wrote when I was like really, really drunk, I wrote about some like really weird stuff, like human existence and why xenophobia from some cultural aspects is a good thing. And I'm like, where in the world was I? Because I don't even believe that stuff.
Right.
So yeah, note to self, Pepper does not drink for reasons. Yeah.
All right. We're going to save as scene subset. And we're going to say 1-1 MPV. Can I do? No, I guess I can. So none of my models are in scale with one another because I was just building them so fast. So I'm taking moments to scale them all properly so that they're all correct. But also, I was noticing that whenever I did maps of ships, I would end up with these MPVs in the picture that were so far in the distance that all the little black and white lines would just look like somebody just kind of scribbled over it because it'd be too far away in the render. And so what I need to do is make a 1-to-1 texture map and then a 1-to-10 texture map, which is just the outline and the windows, and then a 1-to-50 texture map, which is effectively just the outline. So that anytime I put MPVs in there, I'll say, oh crap, all this picture is in 150 scale, so the MPVs then just become little silhouettes effectively because they're too small at that scale. If you're like showing a destroyer going by, the destroyer is huge. So for the destroyer to be at any detail level, the MPVs are all just going to be little white dots effectively. So depending on what scale I'm using. So now I'm going to fix all of the other ones too, like the ridiculous work bee, which I'm sure is also stupid scaled.
I would like to know why someone my computer doesn't know the name Ori. Ooh. So I did end up basically taking the suggestion. So one of the kids keeps noticing a child that's out of place, um, giving the three kids directions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think I made it so that there's like a doctor that's trying to continue experiments that he did when he was alive on children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's who they're going up against. I think that's what I was meaning by that comment that I wrote. But towards the end, it gets very incoherent. Like, it's just all over the place.
You're like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, one of those moments.
We put the kitty-wake in 1-to-1. This is gonna suck. Uh-oh, I'm losing continuity. I'm starting to sound like a robot. I'm at 80%. Shields are at 80%, sir.
Oh boy. Your ships
Yeah, I
are
know.
now. Woo!
Yeah, I know, it gets huge. Because this is a 1-to-1 kitty-wake. At 1-to-1, she's huge.
That's what he said to her.
Yep, that's what she said. Yep. We know what size she is from her deck plans, so let's go check out the deck plans.
My computer knows on how to spell Hime, but it doesn't know how to spell Ori.
Hime?
Yeah. It's
Yep,
my
like
most
as in princess.
I mean, it's like the most common misspelled word that I do when I try to spell home.
You write Hime instead of home?
Well, the I is like right next to the O, and so if I'm typing
with you.
fast, like my typo.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm like that totally makes sense. I'm like, now that you mention it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not making fun of you. I'm like, nope, that makes sense. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 96 meters. So we need to make sure we have enough room for 96 freaking meters.
I need to tell my brothers they need to contribute to my sister's baby shower gift. Well, our sister's baby shower gift. I just got reminded that I did it.
Right? And half the size so far. Huge. Oh, you know what I could do? Create new primitive and make it 96 meters long. Except, there we go. That's how long this needs to be. There. I'm like, how complicated can I make this? Front view. That's all you're going to see. Nice. All right. Back for the QuaCk. Brent's dressing you over there, Pepper.
Yes, I am. I'm working on my comic again. I also had to email I had to email someone about my adoption stuff. So, sorry. Yes, I am working on it again. I have to. I talked to Bill about adding some pages before we get into the, because we're redoing it all together. So what we're doing is we're going to make it a watercolor comic instead of the other type of comic that we were doing.
all of us low lives that are doing all those non watercolor comics. Yeah.
Yeah, and just just updating paperwork, Brent. Nothing. We're not getting a kid yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we're in the fourth grouping. So once we get to the third grouping, we'll probably get a little bit more traction from a normal basis. But it's the first and the second that usually the top 10 couples that actually get more shown. So I hope so too. But yeah, I have I met with someone and someone got like a bunch of feedback from me. And one of the things that they want me to do is I have some goals I need to get done. The 13 equals 4 is a comic line that I want to do that's similar to the Scooby-Doo style-esque, but like the monsters are real. Well, the ghosts are real. There's no monsters. And I have that one. Pumpkinhead, The Tale of Pumpkin Headington. I've been requested to finish the full art for it and then approach a company whom specifically does LGBT teen and young reader, young adult storylines. I need to submit some artwork for 2 companies, and one of them is involved with a very high-ranking like horror person, and I forget the name. Dang it. Oh well. And then I just have to get everything kind of worked on. They got us a meeting next April about the camp comic possibly being turned into a TV series. So we have to prepare for that too. So, but finished work is better than anything, and the previous one got bad reviews, so redoing the artwork is probably for the best. Because that's where they basically said that we lacked, was the artwork.
Aww. I don't think you lacked in artwork if it means anything to you.
Well, first of all, the person that reviewed is normally reviewing things that are for adults, not for children.
Fair.
And I sent a PDF, and because they couldn't find where we sold the actual comic, they basically dinged us on not being able to give it accessibly to people to buy and read to kids in person,
Right.
instead of having to read them on a screen. And in my email when I sent it, I said, we do have print available. We do it through events right now. We are getting our website up, and instead of following up with us to get the website to find out where you can get a hard copy, they basically just did that. So, and then people wonder why I don't get things reviewed from that site anymore.
Fair.
So, the TV show would be cool, and the way that Bill writes, it's already kind of like
TV ready.
TV ready, yeah.
Sweet.
The comic book is legitimately the storyboard. So, but I'm just hoping that the meeting still happens. If it's not, if it doesn't, oh well. If it does, great. It's all good. Whether it happens or it doesn't, it's a win in my book that someone was interested.
At 1-to-1, all I get's a landing foot. Oh, God. I'm trying to do all of the things at scale. So this is 1-to-1 for the kitty-wake to a human being. All I get is a landing leg. That's all right. We
That's
don't
what
put
he said
destroyers
it
at 1-1.
was.
Hmm?
I said that's what he said it was.
That's what he said. That's what he said. 1-1.
Guy is fixing his comic post first book.
What? No, I'm just fixing up all of the models. Everything's fine, and you won't notice it. It looks like the MPV should have been just slightly smaller in that back garage, but not much. But before I put the scene where Mayrel is talking to Bennett while Bennett's fussing with the engine, we probably ought to find out that the engine is actually not easy to get to. Like, humans can't actually access the engine from outside easily. So my buddy James had said, he's an engineer, and he had said, I feel like you have a scale issue. He said, how long is your ship? And I said, well, it's 5 decks high. And he goes, okay, so each deck being about 4 meters. And I'm like, maybe. And he's like, so these people are treating it like it's a 727 when in reality it's closer to like the space shuttle, or maybe even larger than the space shuttle. And it's a big ship. That's a big ship. So it's, he was saying you should probably check your scales. It's actually fine. We never show the kittiwake in any landing mode except at the very end there where it's in the background. So, not that worried. And the MPV was in the correct scale. So the first book does not need to be checked. Does not need to be fixed in any way. But before I do the scene where Mayrel walks up to the ship, which is in like this next issue that I'm already building, she walks up to the kittiwake. And then we've got Bennett, and you can see here's a human right down here. And in the scene, Bennett's supposed to be touching this engine here and going, burk, burk, burk. I think there's something wrong. And I'm like, that engine's so big. The engine nacelle is so massive. She could put a room inside there and live inside the engine nacelle. I need to change my thought process as to what she's fixing. So,
I mean, my whole thing is like we were doing that, you were saying that, and like I just like realized what you're saying, and I was like, maybe the ship isn't the problem. Maybe she needs to be a hybrid human of an alien and a human,
and she
that makes her super damn tall so that she
Right.
can reach the engine.
Right? I mean, I'm like sitting here going, well,
Like,
you can't even reach
You have
the
to
engine.
you have to redraw her like basically walking on the ship, kind of like this.
Yep. Right. No.
Kinda like, hello.
No, look at the. I mean, there's enough clearance underneath the engine for a human to stand. She can't even reach up above her head and touch the engine nacelle. That is a much bigger ship. That's what James was saying. He was saying, I feel like the ship's out of scale. I hate to say this, but he's an engineer, and if he notices, these are the target people who will be reading my comics. So,
Yeah.
I've got to make sure that he's not the only one. And it's all right. This doesn't hurt. It gives me something to do. I'm kind of cranky and angry today anyway. Because I've had back problems all night, and I had leg cramps because of it. So I only slept 4 hours last night. So I'm already cranky. This is perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. You don't need to worry about it. I mean, I guess you're not.
Well, I mean, I've been going and seeing a chiropractor, so my back issues are starting to calm down a little, so to speak.
I need to as well. I had a chiropractor, but she wasn't on my medical plan, so I couldn't use her for once we got our medical plan. I think. Well, I mean, I guess I can, but I have to pay her full price.
Yeah.
Kind of a bummer because she actually was cool. I liked her.
The one that we go to, they don't take insurance, but they are able to take an HSA card.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on how we pay for it.
That's fair.
So.
All right. I don't think anybody else is actually going to be at this scale. So let's move to the next scale. And the next scale is 150, which means that each square, so we can actually get rid of our human. Well, no, I guess we should keep the human. If we make him 150th, I will zoom in on the human. Zoom. All right. Now we will change this map to read Kitty scale, which is actually 1 to 5. What I was saying. So we'll change it to 1 to 5. So each one of these now represents 5 meters each square. So I will shrink you down until you are here. Okay. Now we can take Kitty work and scale you down until you match as well. It's still huge, but it's not as huge. Because she needs she's smaller than this. feel like, it is kind of silly that I'm sitting in here working so diligently to fix these models, but then I also feel like if I didn't, you guys would think I was sick or something. Like, what happened to Guy? He's decided not to go through infinite detail on something. There's something definitely wrong with him. Ridiculous detail. There's definitely something wrong with Guy. He's not doing ridiculous detail. So you should check on him. Hey, George. George is checking on me, just like we just said. Are you checking on me?
Ghost Hand.
Hey, Ghost Hand! I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, man. I was gonna do a star charts episode. I have to fix my star charts too, I'm sure. Sure, there's something wrong. I can sense it. It's like the Force. I can sense that there's something wrong with my star charts. I sense a disturbance in my star charts. Being a dentist is hard, but you know what? That's good. That's what you're supposed to do. Or at least that's what, you think you're supposed to do, I guess. It's not what you're supposed to do. That seems not right. Take that with whatever was the nice way of that, because I feel like I'm just heading south in this one and it's not getting any better. Either way, it's good to see you, my friend. And I understand. And congratulations on getting a job, my friend. Congratulations.
Congrats.
All right. I'm 10, 15. Now you really want squishy. Oh, yeah. Ghost Hand Book 1 got done, and it's at the printers right now. So the first comic of Bellatrix Rising exists. Here, I'll put the link out there on, because you can read it online. I'll put it in the thing. Here. You're still... Ouch. He's like, if you're not going to scratch me.
You're going to reach down to scratch me. I don't want to be touched.
Right, exactly. Let's figure out how to get in here now. It keeps putting me in the edit mode. I want the edit mode. There we go. Play before Ghost Hand vanishes. There you go, Ghost Hand. At your leisure, my friend, at your leisure. There is an actual physical print. It's at Avanti Printers right now. Hey, Pepper, do you know Avanti Printer?
No, I don't.
He seemed to know all of us, which is cool. I mean, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80.
Avanti
Yeah, it's Bob
and
somebody or another.
Bob?
Yeah,
Oh
Bob.
yeah, no, I know Bob.
Everybody knows Bob but me,
I
apparently.
know Bob.
Now I know
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, I know Bob. Actually, he's been trying to get me to switch to him, like, forever.
Yeah, well, he's got Bellatrix Rising 1 out now on his board, so
Yeah. He's
Boy,
a great
Bob.
guy. Like I find him to be an awesome person. It's just I haven't used him yet. So
Yeah, Oi Bob said he had a problem with the paper, but that was it. Like he didn't like the feel of their paper. And I don't know if I care. You know what I mean? Like I may or may not.
So I know what he's talking about, and I know what other people have talked to me about.
See you later. Have a good evening.
Bye, Ghost.
It was good to see you, my friend. It was so good to see you. We missed you. We'll see you again when you come back.
So, some people do have the problem with paper. Others don't. You know, it's all good. I'm one of those people that, like, I could print my comic on newsprint.
And you're fine.
And I'm fine, but I know people who won't read newsprint comics at all because they hate the paper.
I feel that. I feel like Bob's doing kind of that thing, and that is also fine. There's nothing wrong with that at
all. But at the same time, like, Bob is really good at making sure that he makes everything right.
We're talking about Oi Bob and Bob. There's two Bobs involved.
Yeah, Oi Bob is different. Oi Bob is another artist that we know.
Oi Bob is another one of our buddies who is a beloved member of our whatever weird little coven you want to call us.
Yeah.
So.
And my problem also is even if I did go with Avanti Printing and Graphics, which is the name of Bob's company, I can't do anything online. I have to go into the store to get everything like set up, and I'm like I'm an hour away from there.
You do?
So
why would you have to do that? He let me email it. I mean, I'm okay that you did, but I emailed it to him. I haven't actually been there yet. The only well, there were two reasons why I did it. One, I wanted to work local.
Okay, let me back up here for a second.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, before I chose who I printed with, I actually requested samples of their paper and samples of the stuff that they printed. And because of that, I got like the type of paper that they print on. I got everything for me to touch and feel and be okay with. I have to go to Bob's shop to do that.
That's totally fair. You know what we should do someday? You and I should go together as a team. You know, you drive down here, we'll go do lunch, then go over there, and then you and I can do all of the tactile crap and stuff after NDK, because I can only do a run of about 600 or 60 right now. That's all I can do because I only have $200 to spend. So I can't spend any more than $200. So that's it. So that's all I've got to run this run. And so there's nothing I can do. I'm only doing 60. But if those 60 disappear quickly, then I'm running another run of that comic. And when I do, I wouldn't mind just saying, hey, Bob, just run it again. Except that I can't, because I've got to change the print run number on it, because it says right now, first printing, 60 total copies. You know,
I don't do that stuff.
I do because
these are going to be reprinted if I need to reprint them, so I'm not numbering anything. Please don't try to tell me that this is a one of one, like, or anything. Like, please don't. It's nope, not even doing that.
Are
I
you talking
learned
about me or what? You want me to not
no
tell you
about my
I'm doing
own
one of
comic
one?
books. Like I refuse to do that to my own comic books. People told me that I should do that, like to like calculate the print runs and stuff like that I've done. And I'm just like, no,
Oh,
no.
okay. You don't gotta, man. You don't gotta.
no.
It's fine. I am.
Well, here's the reason why I don't do it anymore. And unfortunately, it's people whom I've worked with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after the
like
second run, I'm not.
you're kind of right. For the first printing, you may want to do it. Yes, that's true. But like after that, like you don't want to continuously do that. That's like a lot of work.
No. I think the first run of this one's only going to be 60, and it's such a limited run. If this becomes stupid popular, then clearly what I need to do is run bigger runs. It will make more sense. But right now, my imposter syndrome is absolutely sure that I'm going to sell 4 of them, and one of them will go to Brent. Maybe 2 of them will go to Brent. You know what I mean? Like my imposter syndrome is absolutely sure the only people who are going to buy a copy of this is my sister, who will do it out of pity, and Brent, whom I don't know why he likes these things. You know what I mean? Like my imposter syndrome doesn't understand.
You know, my husband will also be buying them too.
And
right?
but that's because he's my friend, you see. So I mean, like my imposter syndrome is really big on this. So my thought is, if I sell all of those, my imposter syndrome can go jump off a cliff. You know what I mean? Like that's a silly one.
So, Guy, how much are you selling your comic for again?
$5.
$10?
You say $10? Did I say $1 or $5 and you said 10? You implying?
I'm asking if you said 10.
I said 5, but should I
Why
sell it for
5?
10? Do you think?
You should be selling them for 10.
Okay.
Did you put that they were $5 on the package already?
I did not. This time I was smart. I didn't do that.
Okay.
Because
right.
I got chided for that last time when I put
Actually,
whatever $2.50 on it.
Probably go. Let me see here real quick.
It's 32 pages, so.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
Frankly, Bob's printing it for $2.40 a copy.
For 32 pages for an independent comic, $10 is not that bad of a price.
Okay.
If you're not comfortable with $10, you can get away with $9 or $8.
Right.
I wouldn't go below $7.
Okay.
I'm just doing the math from the figures that you told me, and $5 is not a good profit margin for you.
And it's not a profit margin. Oh, man.
So that doesn't give you much if you need to do print runs again.
Yeah.
So the cheapest you could go is $7, guys. $7. Keep that in mind. That gives you a full another print run based off the numbers you already said. And you only have to do half of the sales to get another print run if you need it of another 60.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm just looking it up online.
Yeah, true, Brent. Very true. Because most of the time when you go to conventions and they have cash, they always have 20s. So if you just have changes for 10s and stuff like that, it makes it a hell of a lot easier.
Well, that's why I was doing 5s.
Yeah, no. That still shortchanges you.
Yeah.
That shortchanges you a great deal. If a store wants to pick them up, you can charge them $5.
Yeah, actually, I hate to say this, but you're probably right, because what he was saying was he will sell it to the independent booksellers for half price.
Mm-hmm.
Which he was, when I said 5, he goes, "That's 250 is what I'm going to be selling it to Mile High Comics for," which means you will get 10 cents a comic off of it. And I was like,
Is that what Bob told you?
yeah, because Bob was saying that he'll print them for 240 a piece. And so he's willing to put some over at Mile High Comics, but he sells them to Mile High Comics at half price, MSRP. So if I set my MSRP at
10.
5, if I set it at 5, then he will sell it at 250, and I will make 10 cents each.
Yeah, but if you set your MSRP at 10,
then I can sell it to them for 5.
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So $10, dude.
That sounds like a lot of money. But yeah, you're right. I'm with it.
Part of imposter syndrome, the worst part about it that I've actually had to deal with was getting outside of my head.
Yeah.
And saying I'm worth this amount of money for this project.
Well, and you have been successful at that. So I should at least look at you and go, you have been successful at this. So stop being a pest guy. Yeah. Right? Because you've been successful.
Yeah. So I think that's the best plan that you can do, because then that way, if you need to turn around and get another print run done, you have money available for that print run.
Yeah.
And you don't have to sell all of them to get the money to do another print run. You only have to sell half.
Right.
So in my book, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
So
all right. Yep. So I will sell them for 10. So decided. Each block equals 1 square. That's good. That's what I get for talking to you while writing these things. Each block. We're just like, good God. He's going to proxy pour my comic. It's pretty funny.
You don't have to do that. If Guy sets it up, he can get it graded so that you don't have to pour. But realistically, I think in order for you to do that, you may have to get a UPC code on. You already have a UPC code for your comic book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Nah.
No?
Nah. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You mean like an ISBN?
Well, you can get the ISBN, but a UPC code is also something like you have to send off for, and you can buy like 10 of them at a time for $75. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. How do I get barcodes? How do I get a UPC code? Join GS1 US and apply for your GS1 company prefix.
Yeah. They're assigned to you by the government or whatever handles the selling of those.
Okay, so I need a UPC code. Gotcha. automated system in 1932 is when this is from, huh? Huh. Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, so that's what I need, I guess, is a UPC code. Okay, so what you have, dress pants come in red, green, and blue. Each color comes in small, medium, and large. You only need 9 UPC codes. Oh, okay. Oh my God. It's $250 for 10 of them.
And of what?
10 UPC codes.
Oh, dang. They must raise the price because when me and Bill looked at it, it was only $75.
Yeah, it's $250 now for the initial, and then every year it's $50.
Dang.
If you're doing up to 100, it's $750 with a $150 renewal.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's inflation at its worst.
Yeah, right? Ugh.
I'm kind of happy that we never went through with it because, like, I know people that have to re-up their stuff
Right?
all the time for that stuff.
Realistically, he's saying he would like 2.
So you're going to get those mailed out to Brent?
Yeah, I'm just going to mail them to Brent, I guess.
Yeah. We're not even going to see them. We're just going to be like, Brent got them in the wind.
Right?
Like, they just disappeared from your pile. You didn't even have to mail them. They just flapped their way to Brent.
Right.
Like some of your space creatures.
Space creatures, yep. It's 11. I'm hungry. This is
Space whales.
Space whales. So,
Alright, it's 11 o'clock.
it's 11. Time for us to go to lunch. I'm going to go get lunch and grump about a lot of this. Then maybe I'm going to go back to bed. I definitely was on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Which, you know.
Well, I think, Brent, if you send Guy a payment via however he sets it up. I think he can get it to you.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I've got a PayPal account. We just have to figure out how to do it. But the more I think about it, is the more I think I need to do US or UPCs or ISBNs. I wonder if I can get an ISBN for it.
Well, I know you get if you put your comic on for purchase, for digital purchase, or for regular purchase where it's print on demand through Amazon. They give you an ISBN number through Amazon, and that's on how you can have people order it. That's on how ours has an ISBN number.
Mhm.
Ooh.
It doesn't tell me how
Wait,
much.
so you're going to be over this way for Turkey Day, Brent?
Yeah, if we're really lucky, we might have 3 different issues for you for Turkey Day.
He's still thinking about it. Well, it would be nice if you did come, and then that way I could finally meet you in person.
Oh, yeah. Like, he doesn't really exist. He's an AI.
He's not an AI.
That's why he likes the artificial AI dragons.
What?
It's a buddy. All right. Each block equals 5 meters. I can scale this down. And
Understandable, Brent. Good to know. Me and Bill were talking about adding additional characters to ours too, so. I'm not sure on how we would do that. We still need background characters. So.
You are an AI in my comic. You definitely are. All right. Now.
If I was any type of race in Guy's comic, I'd be the ones that were unseen that live in tubes.
Right? Me too, me too. Me too.
I'd be like, hello, Guy.
That's exactly what you would do. I feel like this is somewhat ideal.
Wait, are you going to 12 or are you going to 11?
I'm only going to 11, but I'm still dinking with crap. So.
Okay.
I'm still dinking with.
Yeah, because your music
I'm hungry, and I'm
very
still hungry,
tired.
and it's not changing that I'm hungry. Okay, so perspective view. There we go. That's at a different scale, but this scale is 1 to 10, or 1 to 5, 1/5 scale, or whatever.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go so that I can basically inspire you to go get your own lunch.
To go get lunch and stop screwing around with things and leave. Yeah,
right.
You're probably right. Okay.
Bye, Brent. Have a good lunch.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Thanks for joining me, Pepper. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye.